and maybe you want to take Dad to a movie on Sunday. Got a little something for everyone. Film critic Josh Bell here with the Bell Breakdown to help you think, should I take Dad to see Men in Black International?
I actually took my dad to
Did
see
you?
Men in Black International, and I think he dozed off a few times.
Oh, no.
Yeah,
Really? Did you doze off?
I stayed awake because
Okay.
it's my job, but that was maybe the only reason.
Well, was he in a reclining movie chair
No,
or just
it
a
was
standard?
a normal standard movie chair. I think he was just a little tired.
Okay.
But it is a little dull, this movie. It is a sort of reboot, and it's also a sequel to the Men in Black franchise. We had 3 movies starting in 1997, starring Will Smith and Tommy Lee Jones as the agents who police alien activity on Earth. So it was kind of a sci-fi comedy. It had a light, wacky tone. They had a good buddy cop dynamic. Now we've got new agents played by Chris Hemsworth and Tessa Thompson, who also had a great kind of bantery dynamic when they starred in Thor Ragnarok together, so it's a good idea to reteam them. But I feel like this movie just really misses the point of what made people like these Men in Black movies in the first place, which was that banter and the fun dynamic.
Yeah.
And these characters are both a little subdued, they're a little dull. Chris Hemsworth is kind of the James Bond type, the loose cannon, and he's a bit of a womanizer, he doesn't play by the rules, and Tessa Thompson is the new recruit who's just really excited to join the Men in Black, and so they have a bit of friction, but not that much. The plot is convoluted. We've got alien MacGuffin weapon thing that everyone is after, and the plot is never really the point, but I think that is part of the problem here, is that they make the plot into too much of the point. They don't have enough humor, they don't have enough kind of fun energy to it. It's convoluted, it's often hard to follow, it drags on for too long, and it just doesn't capture the fun of it. Yeah. I think I was ready for this to return. People talk about sequel fatigue or whatever. I feel like this is a franchise that it's been a little while. It's the right time to refresh it, and they just don't do what they should with it. So I think it's a disappointment.
Yeah, it doesn't look that witty.
It's really not witty.
Right.
And I mean, the writers are people behind like Transformers and things like that. They didn't get the right, I feel, like the right writing team for this film.
Okay, so maybe if you're desperate, but
yeah, probably not.
Dad'll fall asleep.
Yes.
Well, Dad fell asleep at The Shaft. Now this is a reboot sequel of the action series,
Yes.
and you said this is the 6th?
This is the 5th one overall. Yeah, I mean, it's been a long period of time. This is a blaxploitation classic from the 70s. We had Richard Roundtree as the original John Shaft, who's a private detective in New York City. There were 3 movies in the 70s that got kind of increasingly big. They made him almost into like a James Bond type of character. Then it was rebooted in 2000 with Samuel L. Jackson, who you see here as the new John Shaft, who was meant to be the nephew of the original. So Richard Roundtree, still on board, showed up in that movie and in this movie as well. And now we have Jesse T. Usher as the son of Samuel Jackson's character, who is also named John Shaft. So we got 3 dudes named John Shaft in this movie.
Wow.
All of whom are in New York City trying to solve a crime. The young Shaft actually works as a data analyst for the FBI, so you got a lot of generational conflict here. And really, I think the issue with Men in Black was that they didn't put enough humor in it, and the issue with this is that they put too much humor in it, and they turn it into a sitcom. It's all about this generational conflict, and Samuel L. Jackson's version of Shaft is now this cranky old baby boomer type who complains about millennials and just has this nonstop barrage of sexist, homophobic jokes that just really all fall flat. And the plot isn't all that interesting, but none of the plots of these movies have really been that interesting. It's really been about the swagger and the attitude of Shaft as a character, and instead we've got him as a cartoon. I feel like this was an icon of independent cinema, of African-American cinema, and now he's just like the cranky dad, like Tim Allen on Last Man Standing or something.
Right.
It's just really sad to see Shaft kind of fall like that.
Yeah,
this is another one I think I was ready for this to be refreshed. But
you're disappointed all around. So if we had to pick Shaft or Men in Black?
I mean, I'd go for Men in Black maybe, but neither one is really worth seeing, honestly.
Wait for Toy Story 4, isn't that coming out soon?
Yeah, that's next week.
Okay.
We'll see, but I have high hopes for that.
Okay, thanks for your reviews. Sorry, dads, but happy Father's Day anyway. We'll be back after this.